at the end of the day, like I told you, most rich people are in regional banks, and they have more assets in regional banks, and so they're going to acquire the bank so they can acquire the rich person's assets. So it's all money. It's not has nothing to do with just being a savior. It's really all about money. And so I say that this is an important topic for us as progressives to realize, like, the way that the economy has been working, it's not going to work anymore. And and it goes back to my, I guess, my rhetoric on the AI and the fear that it's going to overtake a lot of American jobs. Well, imagine now you have this AI technology coming in, you have this hybrid work coming in, and they're coming together and they're going to intersect at some point. And when they do intersect, what does that economy look like? And that's as progressive. That's what we need to focus on. What does the new economy looks like so we can come up with solutions for the new economy? Because I guarantee you, the people that are in power right now, they have no idea. I know for a fact they have no idea how to create policies for this new economy. They were based. A lot of our politicians are they're either baby boomers or they were born in, like, when manufacturing was king.
And they were
That's
born right after the Great
the
Depression, so
the
it's
Great
like
Depression.
everybody has so much like fear, and it's all about like security and stuff like that, and they're not really gonna do a lot of reform.
Exactly. They don't understand to live. I always tell people, if you want to know the politician, the best way to show who a politician is to go back on YouTube, Google Mark Zuckerberg testifying in front of Congress. And literally, I forgot what congressman it was. I knew it was a Republican, but I don't remember his name. He asked Mark Zuckerberg, he's like, how do you make money? Any 18-year-old or 15-year-old kid can tell you how Facebook makes money. It's through ads.
Yeah.
But this politician, who was a politician who knew for weeks that Mark Zuckerberg was coming, the smartest question that came out of his mouth was, how do you make money? So imagine if they don't even understand how Facebook makes money, how do you think they're going to be able to create policies that address AI, that address hybrid working, and address those issues? They don't. So I think this is a great opportunity for progressives to create an economic policy that really address these things like UBI. Like universal basic income does provide that ability to now have us a transition force to new work skills, to new work that's going to help us in this century. I mean, like I always talked about, the new wars with China is cyber defense and cyber warfare. These are the things that we need to start training the next generation on, and we need to start focusing on to be a more technology centered economy and stop trying to be an economy that's based on manufacturing. Because at the end of the day, we're never going to be able to compete with China or India. There's 2 billion, I forget the last number. I think there's 3 billion people, and that's manufacturing
In
jobs.
China?
No, China and India, I'm
Oh, okay.
combining.
Did you know India is the largest country in the world now?
Yeah, it's like
They
1.6.
surpassed China the other day.
They're like 1.6 billion, something like that.
Yeah, it's around there. But yeah, 3 billion between them or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
uh, I've been thinking about UBI a lot more recently too. Like, I feel like I was always in support of it, but I kind of let it go for a while because it's more focused on workplace management and democracy stuff like that. But I don't know. You're definitely right. The AI thing is bringing me right back where it's like there's not really anything to avoid it. We can't just have a society that's you know the money is solely based on having a job. We need to have that program that guarantees a certain level of income, because we can't just have people. I live in around Oakland and San Francisco. I have seen it. It is so much more, just as real, maybe worse than you would imagine. Like,
mm,
everywhere there's so many homeless people just wandering, asleep, passed out on the streets. Like, they are suffering, and like it is such an easy fix, but
mm,
like we spend so much money on administrative costs. Like, hey, let's have a think tank and spend millions of dollars bringing in the greatest minds, and we'll think of how are we going to solve homelessness, how shall we do this. And
mm.
they keep doing this and nothing's changed because they're just paying a bunch of rich assholes to have a circle jerk or something like that, instead of just giving money directly to people like in the
Yeah.
streets. And it can't just be like, you can't just rely on charity. You give one person some money, like what is that going to do? How do you know that they're going to spend it in the right ways that's going to get them out of? No, what you need is security. You need a guaranteed income. Like, it's gonna come back. You're gonna have more money. You can spend it on how you, if you want to spend it on a bunch of dumb shit at first, you can do that. But like eventually, you're gonna have to pay for real stuff, and the money's gonna keep coming in, and you're gonna be able to pay off your bills. You're gonna be able to advance yourself in life, go back to school, get an apartment, be a contributor to society. Like,
Yeah.
you have to give people their own freedom to do what they want to do. It's like the same idea with drug legalization. We've seen where it works in the world, and that's in Portugal. Everybody always references Portugal because they figured out how to do it. If you just decriminalize, legalize even the hard drugs, like, there's no reason somebody who's addicted to heroin should be locked up for that. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why are we going to spend all of a sudden $56,000 a year to keep someone incarcerated just because they did something that it's a disease, they're addicted to something that's obviously a very addictive chemical? It's not like they have a lot of willpower or choice to
Exactly.
alleviate themselves from that situation. No, what you have to do is you have to give them security. You have to give them, I mean, sorry, I'm trying to decide whether or not to divulge into a different topic out of nowhere.
No, but feel free, man. Just keep going.
But like the another problem with homelessness is like, all the homeless shelters drug test and stuff like that. So okay, all these people that are stuck in the streets because of their major drug addictions, now you have to like force them to get off of the hardest drug in the world to get off of, to sleep for one night. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's not very humanitarian. Yeah, I know you're trying to fix the problem, but that's not how you do it. You don't force people to go cold turkey on something like that. You have to slowly allow them to administer something safely. You give them security, you give them a job opportunity, you give them, a way to improve their own life. And once everything else in somebody's life improves, that is when it's easiest to wean off or get off of drugs. It's not going to be while you're on the streets. Nobody's going to be able to just get off of drugs on the street, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to have something to work for. You need to have something to work towards. You need to have that security of like things that give you meaning and happiness. Otherwise, that's the reason they fall to having to do drugs anyways.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense why we are taking such a hard stance against it. Trump is talking about murdering drug dealers and like, it's all just fear mongering. It's such an issue, and I don't know. I
No,
definitely skipped something, but it's okay.
no, I agree with you, man. It's a growing issue. Like for me, when I see that we're trying to regulate drugs in 2023, it's like, man, I think the science is out there. There's no way to imprison. You can't imprison an addiction.
No.
What you can do is create a mindset, though. And let me explain a little bit.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah.
We got Jesse